Brittney Griner's name has always carried weight, on the court, in the headlines, and most recently at the epicenter of one of the most explosive controversies in recent WNBA history. It all began with a single, grainy courtside clip. Late in the fourth quarter of a tightly contested game, Griner picked up a foul, and as she walked off the floor, the camera zoomed in on her lips. Viewers everywhere paused, replayed, and argued fiercely over what she actually said. Was it trash, F white girl, a racially charged insult allegedly aimed at rising star Caitlink, or simply trash, whack call, an exasperated dig at a questionable whistle? That fleeting moment, captured in low resolution and poor lighting, transformed a routine play into a controversy that would dominate sports feeds, social media threads, and water cooler conversations for days. In this deep dive, we'll unpack every twist and turn, the on-court incident, the social media wildfire it ignited, the ugly rumor revived in its wake, and the broader implications for the WNBA, the media, and all of us who consume sports content. Strap in, because by the end of this video, you'll have the full picture, and you may never look at a single frame of footage the same way again. It was a late-season thriller, the kind of game that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. With just under 2 minutes remaining, Griner battled in the paint, contested a rebound, and came down with the ball, only to draw a foul from an opposing forward. She stomped off the court, frustration written all over her face, and that's when the on-court microphones and high-definition cameras did their thing. A split-second zoom on her lips captured a barely audible string of words. Social media users paused, slowed, and replayed the clip over and over. Some swore they heard trash, F, white girl, an unmistakable racial slur directed at Caitlink, whose meteoric rise had made her a household name. Others insisted Griner had merely muttered trash, whack call, venting her displeasure at what she perceived to be a bad call. Lip-reading experts, both professionals and self-styled amateurs, weighed in across TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, each side claiming incontrovertible proof. But here's the critical takeaway. Lip reading is notoriously unreliable. Factors like camera angle, mouth shape, accent, and camera lag can all influence what viewers believe they hear. In fact, studies have shown that even professional lip readers are wrong up to a third of the time when context is limited. Yet within hours, that ambiguous moment had metamorphosed into a narrative about racism in women's basketball, without a single confirmed audio recording to back it up. Within minutes of the clip going viral, hashtags like GrinerGate and Speak Up Griner began trending. Riley Gaines, a former NCAA swimmer turned commentator, tweeted a viral screenshot claiming Griner had snarled trash and effing white girl, igniting a frenzy of outrage. Pundits on cable news debated whether the league would suspend Griner, while fans flooded comment sections demanding apologies and accountability. Yet, through the maelstrom of accusations, personal attacks, and hot takes, Griner herself issued no statement, no apology, no explanation, not even a brief acknowledgement. In today's 24/7 news cycle, where every public figure is expected to respond within hours, her silence spoke volumes. It created a vacuum filled by speculation, rumor, and, in some cases, outright misinformation. Cable pundits like Skip Bayless seized the moment to critique both the player and the league, accusing the WNBA of looking the other way on potential racism in its own ranks. Meanwhile, fans on social platforms split into camps, those demanding immediate accountability and those defending Griner as a victim of overzealous armchair forensic experts. The WNBA responded with a generic statement, affirming its commitment to respectful competition, but stopped short of addressing the specific allegations or providing any context. In an era when silence from public figures is rare and often disastrous, Griner's decision not to engage only intensified the spotlight, fueling the very outrage she might have sought to quell. Just as the initial debate seemed to reach its peak, an even darker narrative emerged from the underbelly of the internet. Is Brittney Griner actually a man? This conspiracy theory had first bubbled up during her college days at Baylor University, when critics mockingly remarked on her height, her shaved head, and her deep voice. At the time, it was dismissed by most as playground gossip unworthy of serious attention. But in today's screenshot-driven, algorithm-amplified social media landscape, old rumors never die. They're simply repackaged and resurfaced. A decade-old Instagram story clip, originally meant as behind-the-scenes banter, was recirculated alongside a fabricated CNN headline. Influencers on TikTok stitched the clip into videos purporting to prove Griner's true gender, speculating about intersex conditions, testosterone therapy, or secret male identity withheld from the public. Even well-known content creators who specialize in viral debunks inadvertently gave the rumor more oxygen by addressing it at all. To compound the damage, many viewers took screenshots of blurred, low-resolution stills and shared them as evidence. Yet every credible fact check from mainstream sports outlets to independent journalism sites has confirmed that Griner has identified as a woman throughout her career in life, with no credible medical or testimonial basis for the conspiracy. Nevertheless, the rumor spread like wildfire, a stark reminder of how easily misinformation can mutate into accepted truth when it taps into pre-existing biases about gender, body image, and athletic performance. To fully grasp why these sensational rumors found such fertile ground, we have to rewind to one of the most extraordinary chapters in Griner's life, her 2022 detention in Russia. Accused of attempting to smuggle vape cartridges containing hashish oil, she was arrested at a Moscow airport and subsequently sentenced to 9 years in a Russian penal colony. The global response was immediate and polarized. Some saw her as a victim of an overzealous regime targeting American athletes, while others questioned why a high-profile, black, gay, female athlete would receive such intense diplomatic focus. In a historic prisoner swap, the U.S. government exchanged Griner for Victor Bout, a notorious arms dealer known as the Merchant of Death. That swap ignited debates over race, privilege, and geopolitics. Why this particular individual and not others? Was Griner's celebrity status the decisive factor? Could a less famous detainee have expected the same level of intervention? The optics of that exchange lingered long after Griner returned home, casting her simultaneously as a triumphant hero and a beneficiary of an uneven system. That duality, celebrated rescue versus unfair privilege, remains in the public consciousness, priming audiences to question her every move, from on-court behavior to personal identity. This controversy, at its core, raises urgent questions about accountability in modern sports media. When a fleeting, low-resolution clip can spark allegations of racism and gender fraud, who bears the duty to clarify the record? In traditional journalism, rigorous fact-checking and editorial oversight are intended to prevent the spread of unverified claims. On social media, the race is to post first, not to post accurate. The WNBA could have taken a more proactive stance, commissioning an independent lip-reading analysis, providing the full game footage for context, or offering an official statement detailing the technical limitations of interpreting muted clips. Instead, the league's generic response left a vacuum filled by speculation. This episode prompts a deeper conversation about institutional responsibility. Should sports leagues allocate resources to rapid response media teams capable of debunking viral rumors? Should they partner with fact-checkers and credible experts to issue timely clarifications? The NFL, NBA, and major soccer leagues have already invested in such infrastructures. The WNBA's more modest approach raises questions about its readiness to protect its athletes from the collateral damage of digital rumor mills. Brittney Griner's stature, standing at 6 feet 9 inches, her shaved head, and her powerful presence have long defied traditional expectations of female athletes. From Serena Williams' muscular build and powerful serve to Caster Semenya's record-breaking times, women who break gender norms in sports face invasive scrutiny. Griner's controversies highlight a persistent cultural discomfort with women who exhibit traits deemed masculine. The rapid spread of the gender fraud conspiracy underscores a broader societal impulse to police female bodies, especially when excellence challenges deeply ingrained stereotypes. Moreover, the supposed racial slur controversy touches on historical tensions in American sports, where athletes of color have long been subject to heightened scrutiny and harsher judgment. The combination of alleged racism, gender policing, and geopolitical drama converged around Griner in a way that reveals deeply rooted anxieties about fairness, identity, and power in athletics. It forces us to ask, are we too quick to believe the worst about about athletes who don't conform to conventional molds, how do race, gender, and celebrity intersect to shape public perception and misinformation in sports. At the center of this storm is a human being, Brittney Griner, whose reputation, mental health, and career hang in the balance. Whether she did utter those words or not, whether she identifies as a woman without exception or has an intersex condition, the relentless churn of controversy takes a toll. Mental health professionals warn that public shaming and rumor-driven outrage can lead to anxiety, depression, and a sense of isolation. For Griner and other athletes caught in viral crossfires, the stakes are nothing short of personal well-being. But this saga also offers a blueprint for improvement. Fans and casual viewers must cultivate a more discerning approach to viral content. Seek primary sources, demand full-game footage rather than cropped clips, and prioritize reputable fact checks over sensational headlines. Influencers and journalists bear the ethical responsibility to slow down, verify, and consider the real-world impact of spreading unverified claims. And leagues like the WNBA must recognize that silence can be as damaging as a misstatement. Investing in transparent communication channels and expert partnerships to address controversies swiftly and credibly. So, where do we go from here? For the WNBA, this moment represents both a challenge and an opportunity. By launching an independent review into the incident, one that includes technical experts in lip reading, diversity and inclusion officers, and mental health advocates, the league could demonstrate leadership and commitment to both accuracy and athlete welfare. Such a review could examine the clip in full context, survey athlete experiences with on-court miking, and establish clear protocols for addressing viral controversies. For the media and sports commentators, it's a call to action. Embed fact-checking into daily coverage and resist the siren song of engagement-driven sensationalism. For viewers, it's a reminder that context matters, that every frame is part of a larger story, and that empathy should temper outrage. Finally, for Brittney Griner herself, the path forward may involve how she chooses to respond, whether through a personal statement, community engagement, or simply letting her performance on the court speak for itself. In the end, the Brittney Griner controversy is about far more than a misheard phrase or an old rumor. It's a cautionary tale about the speed and power of digital rumor mills, the intersection of race and gender in athletics, and the responsibilities of leagues, media, and fans in an age of instant outrage. So here's the question for you. Should the WNBA launch an official, independent inquiry into this incident to set the record straight and protect its athletes? Or is this simply another moment of internet noise destined to fade as quickly as it flared? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you found this breakdown enlightening, and subscribe for our next deep dive. Because in today's media landscape, the truth often lies buried beneath layers of hype, and it's up to us to dig it out.